they lock it? Maybe the side entrance is open.
When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. The moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the pestilence that walketh in darkness. The pestilence that rode in on the lightning that struck our cathedral 4 years ago. Did you not all feel its presence here ever since? James did, and I did as well. But the Lord says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Our beloved Prior James has served the Lord all his life. He shall be delivered from the darkness, from this dark earth.
Prior James?
Philip.
Francis?
For many years, James has been our prior. After the upcoming election, I vow to lead Kingsbridge Priory with the same steady hand. Amen.
Philip, we told your brother you'd come to Kingsbridge New Year's Day.
I did not expect to see you here.
I was on my way back to Gloucester and wanted to see you.
A priest working in the world of politics. You must tell us about it, Francis.
Of course.
And his brother a prior of what now? 2 years?
It's been 4 years, Cuthbert.
I see. How are things in St. John in the Forest, Philip?
Our little cell is happy and healthy.
Happy and healthy. Thanks to your brother, Francis, St. John in the Forest is prospering. His novices are obedient, his monks humble and pious. Well, our own priory is in such a sorry state.
You know James did the best he could. It was not his fault. Also, they make a remarkable cheese in St. John's. Come by the kitchen later to see us, will you?
Brother Cuthbert seemed upset.
Well, we all are. The way James died was disturbing.
Disturbing? How did Prior James die?
7 days ago, Brother Remigius found James's room empty. We all looked for him for hours. Then we found his footprints by the bridge and a hole in the ice.
Oh no.
No.
In the small hours of Christmas Day, he must have walked out on the river. We didn't even find his body. The river took him, and the cold.
I will pray for James. See me when you have time, Philip. I will be in the cathedral.
And I should go and see how Brother Cuthbert is doing. It's good to see you, Philip. Maybe things will get better after the chapter elects the new prior.
Hopefully. I will come by the kitchen later, Milius.
So what do you think it means?
I don't know. There is no reason to punish us for asking.
At least it wasn't Remigius who punished us.
You look like you want to ask me something.
You are Philip of Gwynedd?
Yes, but you can call me Brother Philip.
You see? Told you he wouldn't mind.
Yes. Now ask him.
How about you ask him?
I already asked Brother Andrew.
That doesn't count. He wouldn't answer.
What is it?
Brother Milius told us you know the scripture very well. Could you tell us about God's temple?
Brother Andrew wouldn't tell us.
Must be a place. A cathedral.
Well, that's probably what the guest master was
Each
talking about.
of us is God's temple, in the way that he created us.
And what if someone does something to God's temple?
The scripture says, if anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him.
Even if he destroys his own temple of God?
So for Prior James, there's no salvation as well?
For a self-murderer, there is no salvation.
What if the devil takes our souls too?
Commit yourselves to God. Be humble and pious. Be without sin. God's grace will not allow the devil to lay hand on any of you. Prior James will face judgment. It is between him and God. Do not be afraid.
No, Brother Philip.
Thank you, Brother Philip.
I believe they have enough to discuss. Have you seen my brother, Francis?
The priest working for Robert of Gloucester? He's your brother? Your family?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he went into the cathedral, I believe.
He did. I saw him.
Thank you. You are very helpful.
So, again, we're all God's temple.
I'm happy to see you, little brother.
It's good to see you too, Philip. Your hair is starting to get a bit grey.
Yours isn't. At least in this one case, I will be the one to boldly charge ahead of you.
You've always been bold. You just don't admit it to yourself.
Francis, what are you doing here?
King Henry is dead.
I know. Word reached St. John's shortly before I left.
First the king, and now Prior James.
devil has come to Kingsbridge.
What?
Just something I heard, something foolish.
And yet, these are dark times indeed. King Henry's death caused quite a commotion in the world of politics. There will be war.
If only we could stop the suffering.
Maybe we can. I came not just to meet you. I was sent to look for a messenger of my lord, Earl Robert.
Here? In Kingsbridge?
Farmers said the messenger was heading for Kingsbridge 2 weeks ago. The knight was carrying a confidential document that might change the course of the conflict. People here trust you. Maybe the monks here know something?
We will find him.
One more thing. No one can know why we're looking for the knight.
Our Father that art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. The cathedra, it is not for me to take that seat. This priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest.
Philip!
Brother Milius.
Come! Warm yourself by the oven.
Is that Philip? Tell him to warm himself by the oven.
Thank you, Brother Cuthbert. wonderful.
I always put some extra stones on the stove to warm up water. Put one in your pocket, and you'll keep warm.
Oh? Ouch!
Careful, they're hot.
Nice and warm, and I didn't burn my hands, Milius.
I knew you could do it.
Hard at work, as usual, Milius?
I have to serve salt fish 6 times a week now.
We hear you have fresh fish every day at your cell in the forest.
Every other day, we even have poultry.
You have done wonderful work at St. John's, Philip. We, on the other hand, had a weak prior for 13 years. May the Lord rest his soul. What you worked hard for at St. John's is wasted here in the mother house.
After the election, the new prior ought to put things right.
Remigius. Put things right.
Who would vote for Remigius? He would be no better than Prior James.
He is the sub-prior, and he made promises to some of the brothers, like the sacrist. He's about to burn all the books and documents in the prior's room, including the prior's ledgers.
Remigius says James asked for everything to be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
What? Without the ledgers, the priory's finances will be beyond saving. Was no one else nominated?
Only Cuthbert.
I refused. I'm too old.
No one else dares to follow in Prior James's footsteps. Not since he began talking to the devil.
What?
One day, he started talking to the devil, as if they were standing side by side. He was bargaining with the devil for his soul, whispering about his sins.
His sins? We'll talk more later. Milius, why do you keep a beautiful pot like this around?
Oh, it reminds me that we should strive for order and beauty. I started collecting some seeds and nuts because I wanted to start a new garden.
A good idea.
I never got around to collecting more, though. If you find some, let me know.
Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, we were waiting for you. I hope you brought some of that wonderful cheese you make at St. John's.
I gave it to one of your novices.
Why would you do that?
He said it's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
greedy brother Marcus.
You are too trusting, Philip.
Brother Cuthbert, you seem worried.
Prior James was a kind man, but the priory is in a terrible state, Philip.
Philip knows. He was just too kind to say anything.
Yes, I know. I wanted to use my New Year's visit to talk with Prior James about these matters.
We should be rich. The priory has much land and collects from many parish churches. But we are in debt. Our novices steal from us, Philip.
The novices are stealing?
Yes, someone took my keys. Remigius blames me for losing them. But someone used them to steal food from the cellar more than once. Today I found something missing again.
Let us continue another time, Brother Cuthbert.
Of course.
Brother Arnaldus, how are you?
Huh? What?
How are you? Are you well?
Oh, Brother Philip. Yes, I am well. It's just that the dead won't stay in the ground.
What?
The dead. It's probably those badgers always digging up the graves.
My father gave the priory a good deal of land to keep me fed. I won't eat salted fish all day.
Me neither.
Shall we go into the cellar again tonight?
Yes, Brother Marcus. You still have old Cuthbert's keys?
Indeed I do. I hid them right in the church. Stuffed them in the large crack in the wall.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
I bet you could. We should go to shiring sometime. Heard they have a big-titted harlot there. One that would even do you.
What's that supposed to mean?
All of us. Because...
What we have to ask ourselves is, can our St. Adolphus still protect Kingsbridge in these dark times?
He couldn't protect Prior James. Ever since that lightning struck the cathedral, he wasn't the same.
When you take over my position as sacrist, you should implore the bishop to send us a new relic. By then I'll be sub-prior. The new prior and I will support you in this.
All Kingsbridge needs is faith and hard work.
Philip of Gwynedd, wanted to talk to you. How dare you disturb Brother Remigius' requiem?
I'm afraid the choir is waiting for me.
Stay, brother. There's no reason you shouldn't hear what Philip has to say for himself.
I was shocked by the prior's death.
We all were. I'm sure at St. John's you're a good prior, but here we adhere to the rules.
You mentioned a new prior.
The election will be held in a few days, when we all convene for the chapter meeting.
Brother Andrew, have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
Aside from the ones that visited for Christmas? No. If there had been an official guest, I would know. And no one stayed at our guest house.
Let us continue this conversation later.
Of course. There's a lot of planning for me to do for the upcoming election.
That's why we can all pray to him.
We don't need to go to church for that.
No, we are the temple.
But why a church then?
Brothers, have you two heard about a knight visiting Kingsbridge?
The Earl of Shiring was here, and some of his knights.
And many other nobles at Christmas.
It would have been a lone rider, a messenger.
I don't think so.
If someone had come to Kingsbridge, Brother Paul would have seen him.
Brother Paul went back out to his toll hut.
I see. Thank you.
Why cathedrals? Why do we create temples if we are the temple? Isn't it almost arrogant to try and build a greater temple?
Don't say that.
Why is this locked? Brother Paul?
Philip. Ah, ouch. Oh.
Here, Paul.
Oh. Ouch. Oh. A hot stone. Ah. It's a mercy, Philip. Thank you.
Remigius should give you a fire, or not have you sit here at all.
I don't really mind. Winter is bound to end sometime.
Philip, if you ever run into trouble with Remigius, be careful to answer him. Do not stay silent.
Silent?
Nothing makes him angrier than someone who doesn't answer. He becomes weak and defensive. It's not fitting for a sub-prior, let alone prior.
What did you say again about Remigius's weakness?
Nothing makes him angrier than someone who doesn't answer. It's not fitting for a sub-prior.
Have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
A knight? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. He was just lying by the road, just a mile away from the priory. He must have fallen from his horse.
Where is he now?
He died. We buried him in the cemetery.
Did he have a name? Did he say anything?
He could not speak. But the look in his eyes told me he was afraid. I held his hand and prayed with him while he died.
Did the knight have anything with him?
There was a letter. I gave it to Prior James. Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. James insisted that all his books and documents shall be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
I heard about this. I think that would be unwise.
Sometimes I wonder if it was because of that letter. A few days later, Prior James fell through the ice. Right here, Philip. Maybe I brought a curse on Kingsbridge.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Have faith in the Lord, Brother Paul. You did well.
Thank you, Philip.
It's getting cold. When will these novices learn to close the door?
I found some beech nuts.
Ah, we will grow a beech tree then.
Wonderful.
If we ever get round to starting the garden.
I'm sure you will. Milius, may I have a word with you?
What can I do for you, Brother Philip?
Prior James had a document I would like to see.
It's probably amongst the things that Remigius is going to burn.
Oh, no.
He's in the prior's room. Maybe you can talk him out of it. You look like you have something important to do. I'll be here if you need me.
Brother Cuthbert.
Philip.
I'm looking for a document that was given to Prior James?
It's probably in the prior's room, then.
I will leave you to your work.
I will leave you to yours.
No. I heard it, I'm sure. There was something. He's right.
Now stop it. Concentrate.
There it was again. What was that?
No talking. Now we sing.
Are you sure you heard something?
You seem troubled, brother.
They won't sing.
It's Adolphus.
There was nothing, believe me.
I heard him crying in the crypt. I think I heard him too.
No, you are mistaken.
It sounded like a whip, like he was chastising himself. It's the end of days.
Brother Philip, please help me. Prove to them that there is nothing and no one down there.
Yes, I'm sure.
It was nothing. Calm down and concentrate.
The novice said he hid the keys in here. They're here. I have them. This brother Marcus really did steal Cuthbert's keys.
Thank you for your help.
How could I not help you? You're my little brother.
Adolphus.
I knew I could rely on you.
Adolphus?
Let's see what we can find. No reason to be afraid. Nothing here. The saint rests in peace. These old cathedrals are bound to make strange sounds. Nothing. Even if it is Adolphus, we would have to welcome him. Thought so. Nothing here. Hello? No. No one. Not a thing. Hello? Go! What is that? the size of a child. Hello? Oh. An owl. Just an owl. The choir will be relieved to know that. I should tell them.
There, I heard it.
There is no need to worry, brothers. Adolphus is resting in peace. It was just an owl.
I told you it was nothing.
God bless you, Brother Philip.
I knew I heard something.
Now, be silent, concentrate, and...
Why not?
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the cathedral.
Brother Andrew.
What is it now?
I am looking for a document that was in the possession of Prior James.
How does that relate to my tasks? Talk to Remigius.
I am looking for a...
How does that...
It feeds us.
We are people of God. Yet we need to eat too.
We come together here. The pilgrims donate. So do the nobles.
I see. A temple to feed the temple.
Locked.
Yes.
We must take good care of us. And our cathedral.
We must.
No, I'll stay down here. I'm not good with heights.
I asked not to be disturbed.
Brother Remigius, I'm sorry I interrupted your service.
You mean Prior James's service?
Quite so. I heard he fell through the ice. Horrible.
Yes. I was the one who found his rosary by the river. Now let me continue my work.
Brother Marcus stole Cuthbert's keys.
Brother Marcus. I will deal with him. You were right to report this to me. Theft is something we cannot take lightly.
Why would Prior James walk out onto the river at night?
He was chased.
Chased? By whom?
The accuser.
But why would the devil be chasing him?
Better to not get involved in all this, hmm? Don't you have your own priory cell to run?
You really believe the devil killed the prior?
Some of the brothers do, and I respect their beliefs. We may never know what happened, and that's that. Now let me get back to my work.
I would like to take a look at Prior James's documents.
And why is that, Brother Philip?
Well, our little cell has given much to the Mother House. I would like to ensure that all is accounted for.
So you do not trust us, Philip, is that it?
The state of this priory...
The state of this priory is the concern of the Prior of Kingsbridge.
I still would like to see the prior's documents.
They will be burned tonight.
I heard about that.
It was Prior James's last wish. I'm following his request.
But the new prior will be lost without the ledgers and contracts.
After the election, I'll be the new prior.
For now, you are not. Only the chapter meeting can decide on these matters.
Of course. Brother Andrew will surely understand why you would go against James's last request.
About the chapter meeting.
Oh, talk to Brother Andrew. He will be just as pleased as me to have you around. Now leave.
We can't allow Prior James's books to be burned.
That, Philip, was Prior James's wish.
This priory is in debt. And without the ledgers and documents, that will never change. Besides, the wisdom in his books is priceless.
It is not up to you to make decisions in this priory, Brother Philip.
Do not domineer over those in your charge, but be an example to the flock.
1 Peter chapter 5. You are right. You shall argue your case in front of the brothers in a chapter meeting today.
Thank you, Brother Andrew.
When I'm done here, I will tell all the monks to come to the chapter house.
Would it help if I went and told some of them?
Feel free to do that. But I insist that the choir finishes practicing before we start. They're already behind schedule.
There will be a chapter meeting in a few minutes.
Oh, yes? We will be there.
Thank you for letting us know.
Brother Andrew has arranged a meeting.
Yes, please go ahead. We will be there in a few minutes.
That will not get the chapter meeting started faster. The sacrist agreed to a meeting today. That way I might be able to get the letter you were looking for.
Good thinking, Philip. I will attend, of course.
Brother Arnaldus, there's a chapter meeting today.
Today, I'll be there. Wouldn't miss that.
A waste of time. There will be a chapter meeting soon.
Ah, thank you for letting me know, Philip. Remember my advice about Remigius.
Brother Paul, a word. What's wrong with your foot, Brother Paul?
Oh, just a chilblain. It will ease when the spring comes, and the hot stone really helps, Philip.
You should have a fire.
It's all right. It's not that cold.
Don't take it lightly. Many will die this winter for lack of food or shelter.
Remigius thinks the Lord is testing us. Only the sinners perish.
No, the poor perish. And those that he has freezing out here.
Don't say anything to Remigius, will you? If he thinks I've been complaining, he'll be displeased.
What did you say again about Remigius's weakness?
Nothing makes him angrier than someone who doesn't answer. It's not fitting for a sub-prior.
So you gave the knight's letter to Prior James?
Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. Maybe it's better that way. After all that has happened.
I have to leave, Brother Paul.
Take care of yourself. It's getting colder, I think.
Cuthbert, I believe I found your keys.
Where did you find them?
The thief hid them in the cathedral.
That is a sacrilege. Will you report the thief to Remigius, Brother Philip?
I already have.
Keep them until we know what to do, will you?
There will be a chapter meeting today.
Excellent. I can't wait to see you and Remigius quarrel.
Brother Cuthbert?
Do not worry. We are on your side.
There will be a chapter meeting today.
You convinced Andrew? Miracles do happen. We will be there. You have our support.
What is it? Can you not see that I'm working?
Has finished singing. The cantor should find time now. Are you ready for the chapter meeting, Brother Philip? If you have any other business to take care of in Kingsbridge, do it now. The meeting could take a long time.
The chapter meeting is more important. And this is why Prior James's wish must not be honored. Kingsbridge Priory would be beyond saving without financial records.
I think we have all understood the reason for your concern, Brother Philip. But before we come to a decision, let us hear other voices of concern.
I would like to know why you would doubt the wisdom in Prior James's decision.
Maybe you didn't know him as well as we did, Philip. I can say I knew him well. We all here knew him. So did you know him?
I knew him well, and I know he would agree with me.
Philip, you are going too far. I will tell...
Brothers,
Oh, let him speak.
Brothers, please. Let's hear what he has to say.
Oh, heavens.
hear him out, brothers. I was stubborn as well, but he made me see it.
Well, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yes.
I owe James much. He was the one who asked me to take care of St. John in the Forest.
One of the most prosperous cells in all of Shiring, if not England.
It was a wise decision, then.
But his last wish was not. Well, was it? What are you waiting for? Answer me.
Is walking on thin ice wise?
Who does he think he is?
May the Lord forgive him. He knows not what he is saying.
No. Philip was very hesitant to talk about the state of this priory with me. Usually, he is as careful in his words as he is in his actions.
Yes, Philip asked us a question. Was it wise to walk out onto the ice?
God was testing Prior James.
I say the devil chased him. Do you doubt that? Do you doubt that, Philip? Surely you must have an answer. I know because Prior James confided in me.
If the Lord tested James, then he is testing all of us. I trust the Lord, so did James, and so should all of you. He was misguided when he walked onto the ice that night, as he was misguided in his last wish, whatever or whoever misguided him.
Prior James will face judgment. It is between him and God.
The novices would be better advised not to speak up.
Philip is a good man. He was the only one to say I should have a fire.
But did he do anything besides talk?
Yes, he brought me a hot stone.
That's our Philip.
Very well, Philip. But why don't you tell us the real reason you have come before us? You not only came to save these books, you have another motivation, do you not? We deserve the truth. What are your true intentions?
My brother is...
Yes, I reminded my brother that Kingsbridge can use help. Look around you. This priory is in a sorry state. Please vote to save the prior's documents from the fire. It's the only way to help this priory.
I say we leave the decision not up to a vote, but to Remigius.
That is against the rules.
Is it? He will be our new prior in a few days. Cuthbert declined, do you not remember?
I remember well. And I say no one in Kingsbridge is better suited for prior than Remigius.
Well, thank you, brother.
That's true.
Hear, hear. I wonder why Cuthbert declined.
Surely not.
That said, there is someone not from our priory, someone better suited. I nominate Philip of Gwynedd to be the new prior of Kingsbridge.
I
disagree with that.
That's
yes,
why you're
obviously.
here.
Excellent choice.
No.
What about Remigius?
That's surprising.
Great
Prior
idea.
Philip.
Brother Philip, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you for your kind offer, but we would not want to impose on you, Brother Remigius.
Oh, but I insist. I will help you.
No, you really must not. We will see you later. Thank you. We don't have much time. Evening Mass will begin soon.
Should I not have accepted the nomination?
You've never been good at saying no. And Milius is right. Kingsbridge needs you.
What about St. John's?
I will ride there tomorrow. I will let them know you will be staying in Kingsbridge for a few days. Thanks to you, these documents and books will not be burned. Now, we have to find that letter.
You truly think the letter can help prevent a war?
If the message says what I think it says, then yes, I do. Now, let us look for the letter.
handwriting on this tablet is hardly legible. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. Did Prior James write this?
Let's continue looking.
Francis, I think I found it.
In the Bible?
Revelations, the Apocalypse of St. John. And they called to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?" The Lamb? What was James afraid of? Was it this letter?
No, the letter is still sealed. Break the seal.
Oh, this is it. You found it.
The Earl of Shiring is about to start a war.
Yes. He's made contact with my own master, Earl Robert of Gloucester.
Who is this King Stephen that has taken the throne?
A nephew of King Henry. Do you ever think of the day our parents died?
Francis, you know I don't like to talk of that.
I know. It's just that I think of them all the time. And I've always blamed King Henry. The Church suffered under his rule as much as we did in Wales. Philip, you have to show this letter to the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
Why me?
Because you have to. There's no other way. Our late King Henry was opposed to Rome's influence in England. King Stephen, on the other hand, swore to preserve the rights and privileges of the Church, and we can help him if you tell the bishop to protect Stephen.
You want the bishop to help the new king, King Stephen?
I want a king who supports the Church. I want these dark times to end. I want to stop the Earl of Shiring from starting a war. He could set the whole of England on fire. My lord the Earl of Gloucester can never know what I was doing here. You must not tell the truth about how or where you got this letter. Don't tell anyone I was involved.
Do you really think the bishop will help?
Tell him you found the letter by coincidence.
And if he does not believe me, what then?
He will believe you. The question is, will he really try to stop the Earl of Shiring? I will ride to St. John's and tell your monks you will stay in Kingsbridge until the election.
What if the Earl of Shiring finds out what I'm doing? What if the bishop tells him?
Philip, calm down. He is your bishop.
I'm a simple monk. Who am I to talk to a bishop?